Hey tech fans, this is Tech Lead Albert. How you doing? This is for those of you on MACOS. Okay, you hear the printer in the background. Okay, so you know that printers are running on 2.4 gigahertz band. Okay, let's say your Mac OS can handle 5 gigahertz, and I like I told the Windows users, you should have a printer and the rest of them on 2.4 gigahertz on a 2.4 gigahertz access point, and then instead of sharing everything on the dual band, then you're gonna say, gee, why is our Wi-Fi running so slow? Because you have the 5 gigahertz and the 2.4 gigahertz all sharing the same thing. You might have wire connectors coming out of there. It is better to have everything on a separate network or separate switch. But you said, yeah, that's a lot of wires. I don't want all that. Well, you can have a 2.4 gigahertz access point, okay, or mesh system 2.4. You can create a virtual network for your 2.4, which is slower network speeds, which is up to 802.11n. That's 300, but it's really 150 to 72. Why do you want that on your 5 gigahertz band, which might have 1.2 gig 802.11ax or AC? You might want to consider splitting that up. On what did I just say? You want to split up the network so the slower systems have to go on. Now, if you do that and you go to your printer and you're on your Mac, you might say, well, gee, I can't access the printer now. Yes, you can. So the second network, you should, okay, no networks. So I have two of them. One is the fiber, right? The fiber is faster, so that's the 6. That's going to be Wi-Fi 6 network, 5 gigahertz on the Wi-Fi 6 or Wi-Fi 7. You might have Wi-Fi 5. Whatever you have, you want to set it to that. So, okay. So when you want to print, you're going to have to switch it to the printer on. So now the printer is on. Because on the top of the screen here, you have wireless. Animated wireless. And Windows is on the bottom. You want to change it over to... On the Windows, you would change... If you're on Windows, they would change it over to the network that has the 2.4 gigahertz. So if I go over here and click on my scanner utility, now it says scanner, no available scanner found. That's terrible. Where did I get that from? I got that. Okay, let's see. No available scanner found. The instructions in the user guide on the scanner. Okay. Yeah. So it won't recognize my scanner. When I put the drivers in, it did recognize it. Keeping the dock, remove from the dock. Okay, let me see something here. I might have to take out these drivers. Let me take out these drivers. Hold on. That's not what I wanted. Oh. It won't work that way. You're supposed to be able to click on the launch pad, hold on to the app, and give you the option to remove it. But it doesn't give me the option to remove it. So I'm going to have to go into the system application, go on to general, says storage. We have to consider like an app. Let's see. Printers and scanners. Let's see something here. Open scanner. It says it's working. Show printer web page. Oh yeah? Oh wow, it worked. So you can go into the administration of the printer, whoops, and change things. Wow, that's not bad. Yeah, close this out. All right, that it found it. All right, let me see if I'm gonna print a document out. I want to see if I can print it. Okay, new, I'm gonna use notes, new, yes, new folders, test. Test, we're gonna type out Mac, OS, SOS. Okay, let's see if we can print that. So, print. Can I print? Oh, up here. That's right. I forget and get with window with Mac, the bar on the top for doing things like printing. Oh, here we go. Print. Okay, let's see if it prints. It says in use. Yeah, looks like it's working. I couldn't get it to work before. See? It printed. See, what is it? Can you see that? Mac OS. That's what I've typed out. And it printed. This is from the notepad. Okay, it worked. Good. But not in the 5 gigahertz band because it's not a 5 gigahertz system. The printer it is 2.4. So where I am here, we have 2 network systems. We have do I have a pen? No pen to show. Isn't that terrible? Let me charge this up too. Oh, got no pen here. Crazy. Well, I know where this one, but I'm not going to get it. So basically, we have the 2.4 gigahertz router. It's virtual, okay? And we have that. And that's set for all these devices. like the printers and stuff. Legacy equipment, okay? The new stuff uses maybe your cell phones, maybe your cameras. Some cameras still use 802.11, like the PowerShell, the Canon PowerShot V1. That's using 2.4 gigahertz band, which is 802.11 300, which is really 150, 170. I want to get to that. That's a shame, but so that's what you want to use. So if you want to print on that, you're gonna have to switch the computer to that printer server, which is basically the access point. So now if you want to go back, you click on the Wi-Fi and you change it back to the network, the fiber, and just go back to Wi-Fi. It's easy. 1, 2, 3. Under Windows, we have to tell it to connect to the system. And the same thing what you do, but yours is automatic. Yours is made streamlined. Yours is made to make it easy. So this is about using printers at 2.4 gigahertz. Your printer is at 2.4 gigahertz. Okay. It doesn't have to be any other printer but that. I have 2 printers on there. We have that one and the brother, which is monochrome. This is color laser and scanner. Okay. All right. But you cannot use the modules that are in the Launchpad. You have to switch over to the printer information. Okay. Another thing is, before I go, a lot of you might be using the one mouse that's for Mac. Did you know you can use a Logitech ball mouse? This is Bluetooth, because this is all Bluetooth. You got the Mac Bluetooth wireless keyboard, right? But you can use a Logitech Bluetooth. As long as it supports it, you can get away with it. Now and then with these things here, you have to. They can get dirty because the ball has to roll around. The ball runs around in the sensor. So that's it. So this is the this model here. This is the oh shoot, doesn't even say ERGO. So E is in egg, R is in the right, O G is in George, O is in orange. M57. M is in Mary. 575. That's what this one is. Okay. And it might have a new one. It has you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 buttons. Okay, so you have buttons and a roller. So just roll with the mouse. To me, it's easier. This stays in one spot. You use your thumb to. You don't have to use your thumb though, and you roll around on the Mac. That's easy. Yeah, that's it. So before I go, I used to be an Apple Care. I trained for Apple Care, customer service for Apple Care. So when you call up to Apple Care, you got me, your tech Albert. Yeah. But back then I was strictly Windows, and I didn't have no Mac in the house. All I had was the iPad. So, but a friend of mine got me that to help me with the training because I was the only one in the class that was a Windows person. Everybody had the iPhone, the iPad, they had the iMac. So it was hard for me. I had to learn from scratch. But once we all got to train on the iMac computer at the time, they were using Apple X at the time. Everything was all about that. I remember that. Yeah. But now there's no more class. They shut that whole program down. But hey, I got on the phone. I got to talk to Apple users. The woman called up. She had a problem with her iMusic. She said it wasn't working. iMusic, huh? But anyway, I'm able to help her out. All right. Hey, you Mac out there, you have any questions with your Mac, I'll help you. I think somebody out there has an issue after updating the OS, their Mac OS software, their software apps didn't work. You might have to reinstall those apps. You might have to reinstall it. Because it'll, on the iPad, the same thing happens. When you update the OS, for the iOS and Mac OS, they're different. The iOS, you click on the software, it won't work. You have to click on it and you give it a chance and then it reinstalls it to support the latest update. Same thing. I believe the same thing goes for these too. I haven't run into any problems. I'm trying to see. I don't think there's no updates. So we got the latest macOS Ventura 13.7.6, 22H6 25. Last check today. So your Mac is up to date. That's it. That's all you care about. You don't care about nothing else. But when something doesn't work on the Mac, then you go crazy, right? You might want to get one of these. You can put LAN connector onto this. I really can't show you because I had no. The one I have is it's hooked up to this. So you can hook up 10100 could be hooked up to this using a type 3 connector, which plugs into the back. Okay, or you can use, well, that's what it is. It's a type 3, and you plug it into the port in the back that supports those types. Okay. Sorry, excuse me. And you can get LAN connector wired out of your MACOS. Yeah, it can work. Okay, you should recognize it, but you have to have something connected to it. And right now, I'm not using anything like that. Other than that, I don't see anything else to tell you about the Mac because you already know how it works. Ooh, what's this? Oh, okay. Now, there is a cleaning utility to clean it, but all it's going to do is close out the programs. But the launch pad will tell you what's open and running, and what's opening and running, you should shut them down. Make sure they're not running. You know, I make music, so I put it on one of these drives, a thumbnail drive. You're not gonna be able to see it. I should actually unplug it. It's getting warm, and I call it Flipper. Okay, I call it Flipper. And then I put Flipper in, and it shows up as Flipper. So everything is a Flipper, and that's how I do it. And I'm sure that's how you do it too. I mean, they make it streamlined, but again, this is your computer. It's the screen. You might have the Mac Mini computer, or you might have the Mac OS Pro laptop. Okay, you know, whatever it is you're using, you know, that's the Mac Pro. But it should run fast out of the box. This is quad core. I think it's 3 gigahertz, has 16 gig of RAM. But if you have one of these older ones, you can use a SanDisk drive. But it is explained in these videos here for that. Okay. Hey, if you have any questions for the Mac, feel free to ask. Thumb up the video and subscribe. I do appreciate that if you do. Okay. Hey, everybody, you take care now. Okay. Bye-bye.